But football without fans is not. You play a football match without fans, you've got nothing. It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch, it becomes nothing.
Into Johnson. Johnson. And a goal by Johnson. Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson! That is sensational! Nakamura, he has done it! Isn't that just typical?
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
A star is born at Celtic!
Champions. That's who we are.
What's happening, guys? Another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. Today is Saturday the 18th of March, and we've just saw Celtic beat Hibs 3-1 at Parkhead as Ange Postecoglou's side march on towards the title. Today we've got Del Boy. Thank you very much for joining us. Pleasure to see you. It's been a while. Paddy, we've got McGinty. Del, 3-1 victory. It looks good midfield time with the scoreline, but it wasn't quite like that in the game. What was your thoughts?
I've just kind of caught up on the highlights of the first half. I'm just in for work. I've seen the full second half there. So, a hard fought victory, mate. And obviously, they're one of the ones we've been kind of romp stomped the last few weeks. So, I think it's just one of the victories that I know it's the old cliche, but it's that's what champions do. So, hard fought. I think Ange said after the game there in his post-match interview when they asked him about the game, his first words were, it was different. It certainly was different, but as I say, I never seen the full first 45s because I was working, so I'll let you jog on with that and talk more about the first half.
Fair enough. Paddy, penalty on both sides. During the second half, I was getting more and more skittish, and I kept on asking the question, are you guys still confident we're going to win the day? Was it ever in doubt, or was it just me doubting Thomas over here?
I think, obviously, you've got grounds to be maybe nervous or whatnot, but I think Angie's team and the players on the park have shown, you know what I mean, they've gave you enough to have that kind of hope and belief that they'll come up with something at the end of games, because, as the old adage says, we never stop, and that's something that you see for big Angie's teams. And again, mate, they've proved their worth. They've done it. They've come back for being one goal down, and on reflection, the score sheet looks pretty dominant. So, Carabbies!
That's a good point. We've seen Ange's team practically every game this season. They've kind of, even whenever things are looking stale, we somehow get the job done. So they've got credit in the bank. Especially heading into those latter stages, we shouldn't really doubt ourselves because we always seem to pull out the bag. McGinty, they had a man sent off early doors, but we only equalised and then scored the second and the third in the second half. And at times we did toil. Why do you think today was a bit of a difficult game? Where did we struggle?
Hattati getting taken off, was it in 12 minutes time? I think that changes everything for us. We've seen it before, not just under Ange Postecoglou, when you play two slow midfielders in the midfield at Celtic Park. It changes how we operate so drastically. It's happened under Lennon, under Rodgers, every time you see it. Playing O'Reilly and Turnbull, I like both of them. I think both are really technical, but they're so fucking slow at times. It's the same if you put Aaron Moy in there, plus one of those two. It slows the game down. We take a step back, and that allows a team like Hibs to sit back so deep. And when they're down 10 men and had a penalty, that's their game plan all day long. I'm not going to labour on about this too much because I'm sure you'll bring these stats up at some point, Gav. But just a favourite stat of mine and Paddy's. The XG for Celtic was 3.67. The XG for Hibs was 0.92. Now, the point I'm going to make here, Paddy, just to really hammer this in, the difference in the two sides, the first half XG for Hibs was 0.92. It was fuck all for the second half. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about how they played, how we played, and how the second half went.
They did have a man sent off, so understandably, they weren't expected to score any
Mate,
goals in the second.
I still don't know what you're fucking talking
I
about.
know. I was thinking, is this the fucking stat show? But I'm actually sitting looking at what you're talking about as well. To be honest with you, mate. Aye, I think
By the
mine's
way-
are slightly different. Mine's are slightly different. I'm on flash scores, but as you can see, man, the stats back up a 10-0 victory today. Know what I mean?
Before we go any further, just want to welcome the viewers. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day on Friday. Going into the game, Hibs, we spanked them the last time at Parkhead 6-1. So obviously there wasn't that much fear. I think the main goal for them this season is to overhaul Hearts, who are still a couple of points ahead of them. But Moy was out of the starting lineup today. He's got a wee niggling injury. So in went O'Reilly. No real kind of alarm there. But I think the alarm was with Rio Hatate going off injured early doors. I think it's a wee hamstring injury. Hopefully it's not going to keep him out for too long. McGinty, who was the kind of the star of the show for us today? Who was your man of the match?
Jota. 100% Jota. I think on the right side, him and Alistair Johnson are forming up a decent partnership. They know how to overlap each other quite well. But as soon as he goes over to the left, Jota does. What a fucking player. He just knows how to play football so fucking well.
I'd agree with you. I'll talk to you after this, but no, we can even bring up the note. I thought today there was an over-reliance on Jota, maybe compounded with the fact that Hatate went off injured. Dale, Jota is the main kind of creative player, but whenever you talk about the gap between a team like us and pretty much any other team in the league, I thought it was evident to see that we're giving Jota all the responsibility to create something, and when it wasn't really coming off for him, we were toiling. Would you agree with that, or do you have your own opinion on that?
No, I probably agree with it, mate. And I think we've spoke about it quite a lot, that Jota's not been... I wouldn't say he's been as good as last year, but his stats kind of contradict it with his goals and assists and stuff. I would agree with McGinty. I thought the day was kind of... I think it was the main outlet, to be honest with you. I think we were giving him the ball to make things happen. I don't think Maeda, particularly when he got the ball, he done much in regards to getting the ball in the box. And I mean, the possession shows a lot, but I think I agree with McGinty's earlier point. When Hatate went off, it totally changes how Celtic play. And I think we've spoke to death about David Turnbull in regards to what he brings to the team. I think I agree with you, McGinty. He definitely slow the game down, mate. He definitely slows the game down. I think his ability's unbelievable, but I think it just shows that if Hatate drops out the team and Aaron Moy drops out the team, then we're definitely, even though we're overloaded in the midfield, but if we do get a couple of significant injuries, then we are struggling, mate. We are struggling, but going back to the point, I think Jota's come on to a game the last 3 or 4 weeks, and what I seen the day, the full second half, I would go with Jota being probably man of the match as well. I thought he's been really good the day in the last 3 or 4 games.
Paddy, in general, thoughts on the game's top performers and people who were, I don't want to be harsh and say passengers, but people who, like for example, people at Turnbull who they've not played that much football this season. There's probably more of an onus for players of his ilk to maybe do or to stand out, because if they kind of go invisible throughout the game, then that's going to justify Ange's exclusion from the team. So, overall thoughts on the game and standout performers and people who could have done better in your eyes?
Well, just obviously to touch on what we're talking about there, with O'Reilly and Turnbull. I actually had to go in and check the lineup again, because actually I thought I forgot that McGregor was playing. He was that quiet. And I think he has been pretty quiet for the last few weeks, which isn't it's not me having a pop at him or anything, but he's not been as influential as he has been in the past, and especially when guys like O'Reilly are playing and Turnbull. And you can see that I think they need a more driven midfielder beside them because they don't seem to be as impactful on the game when they're playing together. I've already spoke about what I think about Turnbull on many an occasion. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's a passenger. I think he turns up when the going's good. He doesn't turn up when the going's rough and tough. A good player, nonetheless, but it's the mentality issue for me with Turnbull. So for me, he's well in the pecking order. Obviously, you've got guys like Tati in front of him, maybe Owata. I know we've only seen a couple of performances from him, such and such. But anyway, just to answer your question, it was always going to be one of the days. Before the game was even kicked off, I was kind of running about the area. I was working the day, and you could see that the rain had started to fall. And it was one of the horrible days, mate. It's literally one of the times you just look at the sky and you think, no, a great day for football. But we weren't great. We weren't great at all. Let's be honest. We had a few guys like Jota that were trying to make things happen, but it was one of the kind of dogged performances. We had to bring everything to the table to get the victory. Hibs, as expected, came in, played compact. They shut out Kyogo. We were kind of limited to the chances that we were having. But as it shows in the strength of the squad, we can get goals, just for one outlet. We're not just relying on Kyogo or a striker to get the goals. We can get the goals all over the park, and that's what happened today. We were determined to get the goals. We were determined to get the win, and at the end, that's exactly what we've done. Despite VAR, despite fucking Stephen McLean, despite anybody else, fuck them. Still 9 points clear. Here we go.
3 points nearer the 53. That annoys me. Yes, it does. It does. Aye. And by the way, Paddy, what you said, like, with the mentality, we don't stop. I know that it's becoming almost a cliche, but that's why we win all these games. We don't stop. It's part of our DNA. And everybody, from Callum McGregor to Joe Hart, even to the new guys, they know that that's their job. You don't let your head go down. You keep going until the final whistle. By the way, there was a additional kind of pressure on us because obviously the Rotten Mob had played earlier on today. It looked like at one point I was watching the game, and whenever they got their third goal or switched it off, there was additional pressure on us because they'd narrowed the gap. But it's back to 9 points. Dale, see, whenever we've got these games, so like today, they'd narrowed the gap down to 6. During the second half, I was wondering to the guys, like, is there any doubt today that we're going to get the 3 points? What do you think about it? Some people think that the league is over yet. We've got 9 points. We've got the goal difference as well. But do you think there is a kind of psychological edge to be won for whoever drops points first?
I don't think it would ever creep into the Celtic camp, to be honest with you. I think we Ange to Helm and guys like Callum McGregor and Joe Hart and even guys like Jamesy Forrest and that are sitting in the background. I don't think that creeps into our minds at all. We Rangers playing first and winning in the 6 points. All I think that does for the Celtic camp is totally G them up. I think you would be stupid to fucking believe if Celtic don't look at that result before they play. Of course they do. The players are sitting on their phones. They know it's back to 6 points. They know they've clawed a couple of goals back. But just looking for the outside in, knowing the likes of what Calmac is and knowing what Ange is as a manager, all that does is add fuel to the fire. You know for a fact Calmac's in that dressing room before the huddle's even done on the park is whatever the language may be. I know what my language would be is they fuckers have won. It's 6 points. We go out and fucking win this today. So I don't think it creeps into the Celtic camp at all, mate. I don't think they're that unprofessional that they think the league's over. They're absolutely nowhere near it. But that is insane numbers. But they'll look at the result and they'll just go into the game and go, they've won. We need to go and win. I just think as a group of players and as a manager and what Ange has built, that there's absolutely no way that group of players will say this league's over. they'll just say we need to keep winning. And again, the old fucking cliche, a game at a time. And that's all it is, mate. They win, we win. Simple as that. The biggest pressure is if we play on a Saturday, they play on a Sunday. Because the pressure is all on them. Every single bit of pressure is on them. And I don't think there's any pressure on Celtic, mate. And that's just because of the hierarchy, the management and the players are just in such a good place, mate.
That's exactly it, Dil. The attitude and mentality of this squad in the last 18 months to 2 years is phenomenally different and so much up there compared to previous ones. Even under Rodgers, the mentality under Rodgers was, we're better, we're confident, we're bravado, but you go in with a low possession mentality and kind of going through the motions. With Angie's squad, the mentality is just relentless. It's thriving forward. It really is. We never stop mentality. And when it goes to half time and you're 1-0 down, this happened last week as well, wasn't it, against St Mirren? I don't know if it was 1-0 at half time, I can't remember, but we were behind. And we suddenly come out and you're like, nah, we're still going to score 3 or 4 goals. We're not sitting back. We're not going to go into a shell and think, oh, we need to try and conserve ourselves and, try and make the most out of a bad situation. No, we go for the kill every single fucking time. There is no stopping us. It's fucking brilliant.
As I think if you look at it, Paddy, in regards to what they do in the media and what we do in the media, it's night and day, mate. I think that's the difference between the two clubs at the moment, mate. We just keep our mouth shut and charge on and do what we need to do, and they keep on mouthing to the papers, mate. And aye, long may it continue, mate. We're being professional. We're winning games. We're racking up points. We're racking up goals, and these guys are just fueling the fire of bullshit. And aye, it's a joy to watch, mate. It's a joy to watch.
That's exactly
what you said. Sorry, Paddy, if I could be an arsehole and interrupt. What Dale said there about our behaviour in the media compared to Rangers, it makes me think of that quote in the movie American Gangster with Denzel Washington. And he said, Frank Lucas, that was the guy's name. He said, the loudest in the room is the weakest in the room. It just kind of makes me think of the Rotten Mob. Sorry, Paddy, on you go.
Aye, that's a good shout, mate. That's a good shout.
That's fair enough. I was like, aye, listen, the two of you are spot on. They're walking about like fucking peacocks with their asses fucking out everywhere, trying to get all the attention with their nice, lovely, fluffy feathers. You know what I mean? But we're foxes. We're just ready to pounce on them.
Flying under the radar, Paddy, and getting business done.
Listen, it's everything that. See everything that Big Ange is. You see the demeanour that Big Ange, right? He's blunt, straight to the point, no faff, no fucking about, no this and no that. It's basically just, listen, we're here to win. We're here to block the bullshit. We do what we do. We let other people do the talking. We do the talking on the pitch. That's exactly what's happened since the guys walked in the door. That's exactly what will continue to happen when the guy's still here. Other people out with Celtic can do what they want, right? They can do what they want and they can say what they want. Michael Beale will have the entire media behind him. Right? I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody says, you've got your fucking tin hat on, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't give a fuck. They've got the media behind them. They've got everybody to fucking kind of fuel the fire, fuel the posturing. Let them do what they please, right? This is a team of winners. This is a team that has got a winning mentality, serial winning mentality. And it all stems from the gaffer. It's not simply just because of Ange, but it stems from the gaffer, right? He'll have everybody in tandem, everybody in check. McGregor will be in that dressing room like that, fucking smashing the fist. You'll have wee Greg Taylor as well, doing the talking. Everybody that you hear who has got the leadership skills in the background, they'll all be saying it. Just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And the fact that they're playing before us a lot is actually driving us as a team, I think, because this is our league. This is our belt that we're holding. We're holding the championship. Fucking come and have a go if you want, but you're still getting the fucking slap, right? Because Celtic are top dogs.
The Stockton slap.
Aye, but a big fucking size 25-inch Greek Bobby right off the face with a big hand. But no, listen, as I say, it's all down to Celtic's mentality. They may be quietly going about it, but certainly in the media, in the conferences or the fucking interviews or whatever. It is quiet. We're being kind of straight and on the point. But see, as soon as they guys walk out on the park, it's fucking full flow football. And somebody said it earlier on, 93 goals with 9 games to go. That's unbelievable. You know what I mean?
So while you bring that up, Paddy, I just want to bring this stat up that a couple of guys have mentioned as well. I was trying to do the maths myself. It is working out that we should be on track for 120 goals if we keep scoring 3 a game for the next 1 games.
What's the overall XG for that then?
Fuck knows, mate. 3 per game.
See,
but we're on track also for 109 points if we win every game going forward.
I hate stats,
This is absolutely fantastic.
I hate stats.
One stat that might intrigue you, Dale, is that
Right,
obviously we're scoring a shitload of goals. People are kind of alluding to that, but the record that what we've scored in a full season goes back to 1916-1917, where we scored 116 goals. So that's tantalising.
Back to Patsy Gallagher? Nah, after Patsy Gallagher?
Before, mate. Before. That's like, is that Jim McMenemy days? I wouldn't know, Paddy. Any idea?
Right, what did you say, 1916?
1916 to 1917. We got 116 goals.
Oh.
That's during World War One.
Yeah. But I
just
reckon
got to say that, aye, World War One, aye. Aye, wow. What? Listen, as much as I hate stats and how people attach them to players and blah blah blah, that's an amazing record to beat if Ange does that. And 120 goals and what did you say there, McGinty? If we score 3 for the next 9 league games, we'll be 120 plus.
If we score 3 a game, 120 goals, and if we win every game, which if you score 3 goals, surely you are 109 points we're on track for.
Again,
let's say we lose 1 game, you're still going to be 118, 119 goals and 104 points, 5 points, something like that.
It's just mere. Other than the stats, it's just a wee bit more wood to throw in the fire to throw a wee bit more shite at the zombies in it. So, aye, as stats go, then McGinty, I'll give you that. I like the ones.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Gav.
We're all singing on the same hymn sheet right now, but I'm going to divide opinion. I'm going to split opinion. I'm going to get McGinty's opinion on the penalty for Hibs. So Starfelt pulls the shot, referee gives it. McGinty, talk to me.
By the letter of the law, yes. But how many times does that happen in a game? Quite often, and how many penalties do you really see? Since VAR's been in, I've seen that being given as a penalty twice today, and I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, when Morales got it in his favour for him being pulled. And I'll admit, when Morales gets it, he's being pulled as he's trying to go for the header. So, yeah, on paper, it's a penalty. Today, on paper, it's a penalty. But you hardly ever see that getting given. And if you're going to keep actively giving it, then I'm going to expect to see 4, 5, 6 penalties a game. FYI, Ole's goal, didn't score it. If he didn't score it, it should have been a penalty as well. But that's, if your granny had tits and balls and dicks and shit like that.
By the way, see this day and age, she might fucking have all of them.
Who knows?
And you're not allowed to say fuck all, but Paddy.
Mate, I was in. I'm completely off tangent here, but I was in.
Don't be like you.
I know. I was in the shop, mate, to do a last minute Mother's Day dash just before you phoned me. And I had a wee chuckle, mate. You had all these people and they were all sitting, they're all going looking at all the cards, and there was about a million of them standing in one corner looking for granny cards and they could only find nanny ones. And there was another one there and they were fucking looking for. But it was this wee tiny woman, and I swear to God, she must have been very early 50s. She was about 4'8", and she turns around to me and she goes, "Look at that card there, son." And I went, "Aye, what?" She's like, "2 mammies." What? I says, "There are 2 mammies," and she went, "No, 2 mammies." Sorry.
I thought this was fucking Friday night there for one. A minute there, Paddy.
I know. It's getting that way. Right. So Any of you guys think it was a Stonewall penalty? Me personally, I don't have any issues with the penalty.
Nah, I don't think it's a Stonewall penalty. I agree with McGinty that two or 3 years ago, it's not even spoke about. It's just what happens in the box. The defenders and strikers grab each other, they tangle. There's a wee bit of rough, and that's just what it's always been. So VAR now, unless it's at Fir Park and they draw bendy lines and they've got a fucking drone making offside decisions, then it's totally different. But when you're at Paradise and you've got all these cameras all over the place, and a tug in the shirt, it's a penalty kick, and I'm sure you'll get to the Carter Vickers one, which is exactly the same. So going by the letter of the law, mate, then I agree with McGinty. It's a penalty. Whether I agree with whether it should be or not, the physicality's totally going out the game. But it's a penalty. I've got no qualms with it. If it was at the other end, the way the rules are going now, I'd be screaming for it as a Celtic fan. So penalty, all day.
I think guys,
that's the thing.
We obviously speak about consistency, right, with the VAR and whatnot, but I think first and foremost, it was a Stonewall penalty, right? There's no denying it. And I think the biggest issue here is fucking Starfelt and his total stupidity. Because there's no need to be doing that. Every defender knows what's the potential issue, what's the potential outcome. If you do something in the box, you're not going to get away with that anymore because there's cameras everywhere. There's fucking people in a room, they've got goats. They're naked, sitting on top of goats. They're just looking for fucking something to get. And if you're a defender and the guy's running away from you and you've got him with the shirt and and it's about 2 or 3 seconds he's got all these shirt. It's just fucking sheer and utter stupidity. I don't even want to call it a brain fart because it's not a brain fart because he knew what he was doing. He had the hoodie shirt. It's fucking stupidity.
See what's the fucking, I don't know if you want to call it ironic, funny, I don't know. But listening to the commentators on the Celtic TV, and I was thinking the same thing myself. Nobody actually sees it happening. Nobody's paying attention to it because the player's running away. He still gets away from Starfelt. Nothing really happens in it. The ball goes out, comes back in again. Starfelt, I think it's an offside call. Starfelt doesn't know, and he's playing to the whistle, and he comes running through, and he has the ball clear. And everybody's actually starting to applaud Starfelt and goes, well done, mate. You kind of played to the whistle. You cleared the lines. Well done. Then the VAR checks coming in for the shirt tug, and we're all like, for fuck's sake. But again, go back to what we've said already. It is a penalty. I just want to see it, as Woodsy say, fairness. We don't want favours. We just want fairness, consistency. If that's going to be a penalty every day, let's see it happen every day then.
But obviously, like as you say, you probably wouldn't have noticed it if you're at the game and you're sitting watching it live. But this is what VAR is supposed to be for, right? Because see if that's at the other end, you'd be like, that's a fucking penalty. And then you'll see the replays and you'll be outraged. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But clearly there is an issue with consistency because you have seen that every year. It's not just penalties, right? See if they're pulling that up as a penalty. It should be all across the pitch. It's not just in the box. It should be in the midfield, in wherever it might be. But it's not happening. It's not happening in other games because these referees have got zero consistency whatsoever. It's the issue. There's no an issue with it being a penalty because it was a clear and obvious penalty. It's a clear and obvious foul. That's the rules. The defender's been a fucking clown and actually committed that crime, if you want to call it that. But this is what infuriates you because they'll see clear decisions like that. They'll do their job, and in all fairness to him, he's done his job correctly because it's a penalty, but they don't do it in other fucking clear and obvious scenarios. This is what gets people goats up. This is what gets people angry. It's not the VAR.
Angry or angry?
I'm glad
they're bloody angry. They're so angry. This is what gets people angry. See, I'm that angry I can't even speak. That's what gets you angry. It's not the technology, it's the BAMs that's in control of it. It's like...
Of course it is, mate. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Don't get me angry.
Now, the other involvement from the referee today was in the first half, and that was the 2 yellows dished out to the French forward, Johan. The first one was a yellow card that he got for a challenge on Starfelt. He showed the studs. And then the second challenge was against Cameron Carter-Vickers, where he basically made contact with his face. McGinty, you actually thought, unless I'm mistaken, you actually thought that the first incident could have even merited a red?
I reckon if you saw red for that first incident, he wouldn't have been complaining too much about it. I think I'm not saying it should always be a red, but if you give a red for it, I think people would be able to see why it would have been a red. He's came in from behind. He's came in forcefully with aggression. He's lifted the foot and stamped it in. Studs kind of going in down. He's not played for the ball. That could have been a red card. It wasn't. I'm okay with it being the yellow. But you could see how that could have been a red card.
I don't think we've got any complaints that accumulated towards or contributed towards a red card. The guy had to go off. It would certainly happen against us. So he goes off. It kind of changes the complexion of the game to a kind of an Alamo scenario where it was just attack against defence for the remainder of the game. What kind of pissed me off was in the first half, we weren't taking our chances. We had a lot of chances, but we weren't being clinical. A lot of them was just going down the throat of the goalkeeper. Like Starfelt had a header in box from a corner, flew off the crossbar. Fair enough. Okay, you maybe could have done better. Kyogo had a great chance. It was kind of reminiscent of that the goal that he scored against Aberdeen at Pittodrie, where Turnbull had whipped it in and he scored off his chest against Aberdeen last season. This time round, it was Jota, brilliant floated cross, and Kyogo goes again for the chest. He was a wee bit further out this time, and the keeper easily saved it. Paddy, you think he should have just put the napper on that one?
No. I heard Simon Donnelly that talking about it at half time, but see when you look at it, the ball actually comes in, excuse me, and he's chested it. The ball's there. So see if he's going to header it, he's going to heater it either at target or into the ground or make an absolute arse of it. I think he's actually showed good technique to actually do something with his chest with it because of the height of the ball. So
is this O? Is this the O?
Kyogo. No, Kyogo.
Oh, right, okay.
Aye, so if you look at it again, the ball comes in and it's pretty low in the delivery. So I wouldn't really be having a pop at Kyogo for that. But I can see people maybe criticising it, but I would have a look at it again before, taking umbrage to it.
The other couple of chances in the first half, which kind of added to that sense of unease for myself anyway. O'Reilly had a header in the box. He was kind of putting out for a corner or a shy rather than getting on target. Jota had the chance as well. He fired it right down the throat of Marshall. And it's just one of the games that we've been on a fantastic run for a good while now. And it's just, you've seen it happen before. Just one of the games where the opposition defend very, very well. We don't take our chances, and the other keeper has a blinder. I was just fearing that was going to be the case from the signs that I saw in the first half. But of course, going into the second half, we got a penalty in the 52nd minute. Penalty at Celtic. Cameron Carter-Vickers was hauled down. It was a corner that was taken. He was taken down by the defender, and Jota steps up. By the way, that penalty for Jota, man, that made me scared.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I forgot about the last few games, but he's Matt Buttons.
It went in. Marshall was, obviously really angry with himself, but we scored, and that's what matters. Although you'd like to see us to be a wee bit more clinical from the penalty spot. So, Paddy, at that point, what was your thoughts? We've pulled it back one each with over half an hour to go. You're thinking the game's in the bag. We're definitely going to get the winner at some point.
Mate, as I said earlier on, I go into every game thinking that we're going to win, and that's because the managers gave me that belief, the players on the pitch have gave me that belief, and results that we've saw since through Angie's tenure have gave me that belief. So I thought we were still going to win before we even scored, but obviously when we got the penalty, I seen it trickling in under David Marshall. I thought, brilliant, right, here we go. Get the tempo up, and let's go for the winner.
Now, I've got a question for you. It's actually credit to Woodsy, who had spoken to me during the game. On the half-hour mark, of course, Ange rings the changes. So Taylor came off, O'Reilly came off, Maida came off. On came Bernabei, Abada, and Dale, I want to ask you, Haksabanovic, I was screaming to Paddy and McGinty, even in the first half, I was saying this game, whenever they went down to 10 men, I'm like, this game is screaming out for Haksabanovic because they're going to have like that deep block, pardon me for using that Americanism, and people like Abada and Maida don't really excel. They can't really use their pace that much because there's no space to run into. Haksabanovic has got the technical capability to twist and turn to make defenders look stupid. And he can do that against that kind of low block. I was screaming out for that. But when Ange rings the changes on the hour mark, Haksabanovic is still on the bench. So what you ask you the question, does Ange trust Haksabanovic at this stage?
I think the boys spoke about it in the CSP the other night, and their kind of take on it was, is he an impact sub or is he a guy that's going to play for the start and make an impact? I think again, mate, and I'll not jump too far ahead because we'll get to the goal, but I agree, mate. I think Haksabanovic, skill-wise, and he showed again the day, he showed against Hearts midweek what he can do in close quarters, rather than the legs of Maida running all the time and Jota with his crosses and assists. Haksabanovic could turn somebody in a fucking phone box and score a goal. And it showed you again that his finish today was absolute quality, the same as other weeks. So I was surprised, Gav, as well. I thought he would have put him on. I thought he'd have put him on earlier as well today. And I don't know. Is he going to be an impact sub? Folk said last week that he got his start at Tynecastle and he got his chance. And did he do well or no bad? Or I think he done no too bad at Tynecastle. I don't think he was terrible. I've always been a great believer in unless you're going to play a guy 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row, then you can't really judge him. You can't. And probably contradicting that is bringing a bad on all the time, and he scores goals and he sets up goals. But I just don't think you can judge a guy on bringing him on for 5 and 10 minutes. But hats off for me today, mate. I thought he should have been on earlier. And in my opinion, I think if he was over the 60-minute mark, the game would have been put to bed a lot earlier. If Hacksaw came on with Owen that at the 60-minute mark, we'd have been 2 or 3-1 up before the 75-minute mark, in my opinion. I think the guy's got magic feet. I think he's a good player. I think he's got that bit of dig. And he looks like our Paddy, man. So he's a fucking legend.
He does. There is a resemblance. McGinty, let's talk about O came on. He got his goal. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that's his 3rd goal now for Celtic. But I would say that this is his most meaningful goal because the other goals that he scored that's been kind of high-scoring games, this one was the winner to make it 2-1. He scored from a corner kick. He was tightly marked in the box, but he managed to power away. And that's the kind of the main characteristic attribute that you can take from him so far in these short amount of games that he's played. The guy's powerful. He's only 21 years old, but he used that power to get away from the marker and bullet home a header. A very, very important goal, and you could see how much it meant to him. He took a shirt off and blah, 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 get the yellow card and stuff. What's your thoughts on his contribution for today? And it'll do his confidence overall do good, do you think?
Yep, I would agree. The confidence boost he's going to get from that will be immense. I think much like Haksabanovic, other players we could mention, Kobayashi, Awata to some degree, maybe not as much, and I'll throw Benaby in there as well just to annoy Paddy a little bit more. I think these players are all on the fringe, but all of them could probably stake a claim that they deserve that run of 5 or 6 games, as Dell says, where you can't really judge them too harshly if they're just getting off the bench. But every one of them seems to come off the bench, maybe Benaby aside, and they do something that says, you've got something about you. And today, O's goal is exactly what O can bring to the team. That strength, that presence right there in the 6-yard box sort of thing. He's not a direct replacement for Giakoumakis, but he can present himself as the big boy who can... Do you know how he
is, McGinty,
Well, obviously, 1 in, 1 out, he's obviously is, but I don't think he's replacing the style of Giakoumakis.
I think he's an upgrade, and I love Giakoumakis, man. I really do.
Yeah, I would agree, Dale.
I really do. I love Giakoumakis, and I think he could have maybe get a wee bit more of a shot in regard to time, but then Kyogo's proved his own wrong. But I think O's definitely an upgrade, Paddy. I just think we spoke about it months ago. I think what you get with O is he's younger. He comes in. He looks at Kyogo as I look up to this guy. This is what I need. This is who I need to be a better player. I don't think you get him chapping Angie's door, wanting game time. I think he realises where he is in his career, that he's at an absolutely massive club. Kyogo's the number one striker, but when he comes on, he'll run his absolute arse off. And for me, he's Giakoumakis and a wee bit more. He's powerful. He looks like a number 9, and he looks like a penalty box striker.
All behaved.
I think it'd be a good fight, by the way. I think it'd be a good fight.
Nah,
I would agree with Dale, though. His age works in his favour because he's going to learn more. And exactly what you said, I think I said about 2 weeks ago on this podcast as well, that O's got the chance. He can follow Giakoumakis' path as just being the big guy that we punt the ball to, or can use a bit of strength to kind of create a bit of space up front and be completely different from Kyogo. However, it's clear as fucking day that Ange likes the style of Kyogo, and that's the way he wants to play his football first and foremost.
Yeah.
That Ange wants the ball on the deck. O's got the opportunity here to develop the kind of in between a Giakoumakis and a Kyogo style and add a little bit more to his game, and I think he will. And I think next season we'll see a lot more of him.
Aye.
That's exactly one of the points, right? Because that's exactly one of the points, because for me, Angie's he's not changing his philosophy or anything, right? But I think he's recognising this season a lot more that he has to bring in the kind of more uglier side of the game, if you want to call that, and certainly not calling ugly or anything, but the fact that you need to be showing a bit of physicality in games. We're seeing him bringing on defensive midfielders at times to shore up games like Awata. We're seeing him bringing when we need a wee bit of steel. You see how much kind of influence Carter Vickers has got at the back with his powerful fucking stature, his powerful defending. But I think that the difference is, and I'm going to just tap back to what Dale you were saying earlier on. I don't know if we can say yet if O's an upgrade on Giakoumakis, because Giakoumakis' goals last season drove us towards winning the league. O's obviously a young guy, he's 21, yeah. Just in the door. He's no a regular starter by any means. Not that Giakoumakis was either. But the difference is that Giakoumakis had been the top goal scorer in the Eredivisie the season before. He was 27. He'd been playing for Greece. So you can see why he was chatting at the door, wanting game time. But the hierarchy at the time was Kyogo's Angie's man. You're going to have to settle for being a bench warmer, being an impact sub, whatever you might want to call it, part of the squad. As I say, the difference is now we owe, exactly what you said, McGinty. Guys like O are in that kind of pecking order, and they're going to realise that they've got a lot to do, and they're going to be happier sitting at that level, coming in, learning the game, learning under Ange, first foray into Europe, that type of thing. And we've got that with a few players in the squad. So O, for example, Abada's one of them who knows fine well that he'll get a start here and there, but he's mainly going to get flung on at the end when his speed, his guile, his agility is going to be an impact on the game. It's the same in all way Haksabanovic. Haksabanovic, for me, isn't he as good starting a game as what he is getting flung on towards the end of the game when he's running at tired defenders. And I think that's exactly what Andrew's utilising these players for. He's saying to them, listen, we can use you at a better time during the game. Just because you're not starting the game doesn't mean to say that you're not as impactful in the game as the guys that starting. You've got guys in Maeda starting the game. He can run for fucking... He can run like Superman. He can run all game long. All game long. He can run all game long and still have fucking energy to fucking put in another shift in another game. But guys like you can't, you'll not get that for guys like Hacksaw and Abada. But these guys are impactful at certain stages in the game. And there was a quote for Abada, and he was asked by some Israeli fucking news outlet or something, and it was like, do you think that you need to start more games to keep yourself in the Israel squad and to keep yourself kind of noticed in that? And he says, listen, he says, well, this has been interpreted, obviously, I don't speak fucking great Israeli, but he says, I'm not giving away the manager's tactics and his master plan. He says, but the manager knows what he's doing, and I know what the manager's doing. So when I'm playing, I'll play. You'll see me playing. So don't get yourself hooked up on me starting games, because I'm playing in games. I'm still scoring, still assisting, still getting stats in, still helping this team to win. And that's when you need to have a good manager who is managing the squad and a guy who can keep everybody happy. And see, if you're not going to keep everybody happy, well, do you know what? He's done it. See to Jackie Marcus, listen, fuck off then. Juranovic, see if you want to go. Go. It's as simple as that. We'll just replace you. I will give you other guys a game. It's as simple as that. We don't need you here. We want you here. But if you don't want to be here, then see you later.
Yep.
The guy
Bye.
Exactly.
And how do you think Abada did whenever he came on? Out of curiosity.
It was all right.
All right. Aye. All right. I don't think he was as effective the day as he normally is, to be honest with you. But aye, good, mate. When I go to Turkey later on this year, I'm going to ask for the Abada. But so we'll see how we go. They're McGinty away in shit and happy.
He's away to check if he are.
Sorry if I keep looking down here, by the way, because I'm keeping an eye on this Everton game, man.
What game?
Everton, man, horrendous.
They get pumped.
No, mate, it's now. It's now.
Who'd they go?
Stamford Bridge, mate. Now at half time nearly. It's not bad. It's not bad, Paddy.
They've been plagued. They've been plagued. Everton have been plagued for as long as I can remember, just with bad decisions, you know.
It's been and folk like Paddy knows I've been an Everton fan as long as I've been a Celtic fan, and the thought of us going down this year, that our next games, Tottenham, Man United, Fulham, Newcastle, Leicester. I think we're fucked. This year. Paddy will be happy because he's a red shite.
LIV. I'm not kidding, mate. It's just, listen, I like the both of them. Obviously, just because whatnot. I prefer Liverpool.
Tomato.
I like Everton and all, mate. I wouldn't like to see them getting relegated, but Everton kind of, well, obviously we'll not talk too much about Everton being a Celtic show, but Everton really need to realise the level of club that they are. They tried to overstep their boots, as far as I'm concerned, and they've made a rip-roaring cunt of it. So, but hopefully they're all right. Hopefully they get saved and just realise they're a mid-table team.
I know. Anyway, back to Mr. Gav. It's a Celtic show. Sorry, Gavin.
No, I was just thinking about that. Like, all you need is a sugar daddy, just like what Newcastle got, you know, and then that glass ceiling that you had vanishes immediately.
Mr. Mashiri was allegedly the man, and I don't know what's happened there, man. I don't know.
Aye.
Anyway, back to the Celtic. Fuck them.
How do you? By the way, listen, I'm just going to ask a question, guys. Just on that note, how would you feel, right, about Celtic ending up with some sort of a Abu Dhabi shaky wakey fucking sugar daddy?
Now, Paddy, we did have this conversation over a year ago. Now, I was pretty pissed during the podcast, and I got quite emotional in my response. My response was, you need to be careful about who you go into bed with, metaphorically, of course.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
No. By the way,
we talk about.
I've never been known to be fussed, mate.
Like, for Chelsea, Abramovich was the, you know, he was in the better than sliced bread, you know what I mean? But then geopolitics come into play, and then you've got a different complexion on it. Although still they still chant his name at games, Abramovich. But it's look, you hear about Celtic saying, it's more than a club. Is that just a soundbite? Do we believe in it, or do we accept that football is a business? It's no longer what it used to be. I'm looking more and more like Greg Taylor. So it's one of the ones. It's football is becoming a very money orientated sport. It's been like that for a long time, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. But is there something about Celtic that we define as different from any other club? Is there something special about our inception and our mission statement? That all gets thrown under the water if you tie yourself to like people with these kind of these transgressions, these Saudis, these Qataris. Doesn't even have to be that. It can be closer to home. People who've made their fortunes from committing genocide, doing horrible, unspeakable things to people in their home country. Even Abramovich, he earned his wealth from the fall of the USSR, and he went from being a nobody to being an oligarch. So you need to be careful about who you're going to bed with. That's just my own personal opinion. And the other thing is, would one of these wealthy people want to back Celtic? Because how far can we go if we're contained within the Scottish League? You've got the riches if you've got England, but unless that avenue opened up, then I don't see a sugar daddy coming in to back Celtic. So that's
I don't think in regards to Newcastle, Paddy, and where they've got their money for, and wherever else these clubs have got their money for. Obviously, Mr. Desmond's been there for a long, long time and backed the club. I think just where where Celtic have came from, where we were born from, and the reason we're what we are as a football club and why we were formed. There's absolutely no way in this earth that a backing like Newcastle have got would ever come to fruition at Glasgow Celtic Football Club. Absolutely no way in our lifetime. Would the Celtic fans love somebody to come in and pump 300, 400, 500 million £500 in? Aye. Would the Celtic fans then turn a blind eye, Paddy, to a Saudi Arabian or somebody else coming in and pump money into the club? I don't think it stands, mate. I don't think it stands. As much as a Celtic fan, you would love to go to the riches of the Premier League and be buying the best players in the world. These people that have bought Newcastle United, they don't walk into paradise with open arms, mate. I think they get kicked fucking well to the side, mate. I just personally think that's us as fans and the club. I'll say no. As far as Desmond goes, if somebody from Saudi Arabia wants to buy the club and he's getting money, does he take the money? 100%. But I don't think as fans and as a club it ever happens. It us. Never in a million years, man. No in my lifetime.
No, I think we're stable enough as it is. You know what I mean? We're financing ourselves very, very well for the kind of pond that we're in. It's the big fish. But the good thing is for us as a club, we're going to be expanding our horizons. We had Peter Lawwell come in and do it a long time ago. He marketed us across the world. The fact that Ange's come in has opened up the doors to the Far East, right? Because it's going to happen at the end of this season. We're going to have a tour of Asia at some point. It's not been announced. It will happen. That'll open us up to a totally different audience. There was something I saw the other day about and it was the biggest South Korean sports channel or something has started showing every single Celtic game now because the South Koreans love to watch South Korean players overseas.
Usually end up getting a guy on for the news channel anyway. With wee Dan Winties, wee Dan Ortswich or whatever his name is. The Jungle Gyms will be Dan Ortswich and the South Korean BBC 4 channel guy like that. Welcome to the Jungle Gyms.
I know. Look, no, us, mate. We'll get the South Korean fucking McGinty going, oh, XG.
Oh, good, man. Good.
That's not a penalty. But listen, Celtic have got great exposure. We're a great club. Everything's rosy in the garden. Gav, something I wanted to ask you about, right? And it's something that's been highlighted every game, especially on Celtic TV. They're talking about the Celtic FC Foundation. So obviously, at the bottom of the ticker bar, now you'll see it. We're pumping out advertising for the Kano Foundation. If you don't know what it is, there's the website. They're just under Dell as we speak. Go and have a look at it because they do absolutely fantastic, brilliant work for the kids. Kev Moon's on the CSP podcast. You'll see him on basically every week. He talks about the Kano. Dell's had guys on for the Kano. That ties in with Celtic's ethos as being a charitable club. I know a lot of times in recent years, people have been a bit sceptical about Celtic's kind of involvement in charitable associations and charitable deeds and whatnot, but they are going right into overdrive. We actually publicising what they do now, right? Because a lot of people don't take any pleasure about publicising their charitable stuff, but they are, as I say, they're publicising it a lot, and the Celtic FC Foundation is doing some incredible work, right? But Gav, at the start of the game, there was kids on the pitch, and they were actually signing "You'll Never Walk Alone." Obviously, they've got hearing. Don't know.
Oh, Paddy's away.
They're deaf or no, but they've got hearing issues or whatnot. But they were actually doing the sign language for "You'll Never Walk Alone," and I thought that was absolutely brilliant. You hear me?
Aye, sometimes.
I can speak to you in sign language.
Were you on the park today, Paddy?
What?
No, it's fine, mate. It's fine.
Aye, so the wee guys were doing the sign language, "You'll Never Walk Alone," and I was watching a program on the Celtic TV last week, right, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was an interview with a lady, right, and she had some kind of visual impairment. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Oh,
I'm wondering what his question's going to be.
I know. That's what I was thinking as well, mate. I don't know what it's going to be.
I think he moved from people with hearing disabilities to visual disabilities.
He's back. Paddy's back in the room.
Hi, Patrick.
What's happening?
We're waiting for this question.
That said, that was welcome back. Oh, he's frozen now. Thank you. Oh, he's back again. Gav,
jumping.
Just a question to yourself, Gav. Have we actually finished talking about the game?
Pak Sabanovic scored the goal in the 95th minute.
A good finish again, mate. Fair minute. Quite similar to the other week. A wee bit less classy, to be fair. Bottom corner, but
it was. He's very capable of it. Very capable. And he's got confidence in his own ability. The other thing that which I took for the game was their time wasting. I know it's a general theme that we see every week at Parkhead, especially, but they were doing it even more so once they went 10 men down. It got especially bad in the second half, and at one point, one of the members of their bench threw the ball onto the park whenever we were about to take a free kick, and the referee ended up having to book the Liam Johnson. Is that the guy's name? The gaffer? Lee Johnson?
Lee Johnson, aye.
Lee Johnson, aye. That was just pissing me off, but I guess I should be used to it because almost all the opposition do that against us now, time wasting.
Yeah. Aye. I think, listen, mate, you see it fucking 10 minutes into a game now. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I said at the start of the season, and folk will maybe disagree, that I've been going to Celtic games for the kind of late 80s, early 90s, and Paddy, you've been going as well. Like, I said it to the way another week, it's sometimes very, very boring going to Paradise now. Like, you just know what to expect, Paddy. You know you're going to watch 10 guys sitting behind a ball and struggle. And some games like the day, Paddy, like you eke out that result with 80% possession and you get the 3-1 win. Sometimes you win 6-0 and it's fucking brilliant, but it kind of got to the end of the last year of Brendan Rodgers when we were trying to pass teams to death, and without sounding fucking pompous and I'm going to Parkhead, it's boring as fuck and all that. And folk can't get season tickets, but it's just getting to the stage again that it's Scottish football. You're going to paradise and you're paying your season ticket for the 2 Rangers games and your semi-final games and the odd maybe Hearts or Hibs game that's decent, and the rest of it's a hard slog, by the way. It's a very, very hard slog, and you see a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter and wherever it may be that there's a lot of empty seats and folk don't go and blah blah blah, but sometimes it's hard to watch. Sometimes it is really, really hard to watch. The day must have been brilliant for the fans. My wee boy was there with his cousin and it must have been great getting the 2 late goals, but it does get boring. It really does get boring. And where does Scottish football go in regards to the competition, other than the Huns, Gav? That all these cunts will moan every week. Motherwell, Hearts, Kelly, whoever it may be, that Celtic have got the most money. Of course we have. We're the biggest team in Scotland. We've got the biggest fan base. We've got the biggest income. We pay the biggest wages. That's just the way it works. So have PSG. So have Man City. So have Bayern Munich. That's just the way fucking football works. But sometimes I go to the games and I'm after 60 minutes, I'm like, I'm fucking out of here, man. This is boring the tits off of me. And maybe it's just because I'm getting old, mate. I just look forward to semi-finals, cup finals and end of season parties. And in betweens now, just getting fucking can't be arsed got to this fit for the day, man.
I think I get what you're saying, Dale. I really, really do. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. When I've been going to the games, I think the one thing that you want to feel is emotionally engaged in the game. If it's just, the same old Groundhog Day, then I can get why people feel disengaged, for want of a better word. Today, people would have felt involved, emotionally involved, because we went 1-0 down, but they scored that goal and we were struggling to equalise. And I could get that a lot of people would have felt frustrated, but that's one emotion, that frustration, that negative energy, that kind of keeps you tied in. But there can be other games where we score early and it's just goal after goal after goal. As a child, I remember being a child when I'd be going to the Tommy Burns games, and it wouldn't be a question of will we win today, it'll be how many can we score today at Parkhead, and that was really entertaining. But maybe whenever you get older, you can become a wee bit disillusioned, perhaps, and that might explain sometimes why we might not always get full capacity.
Disillusioned or grumpy old cunt, maybe the middle ground. I think I'm a grumpy old cunt, to be fair.
Well, we're approaching, when you say, I laugh when 40-year-olds say the road, we're approaching 40 years now since the last team out of Celtic or the Rotten Mob have won the league. That was what, Aberdeen back in 1986.
Dundee United the last time you won the league before Celtic Rangers now?
You could be right, mate. You could be right. I was just thinking off my head, but I think you might be right. But Dundee United and Aberdeen, they were the two strong teams, as well as the Rotten Mob and Celtic. And we were talking about it a while ago. Wouldn't it be good to get some competition back in the game? But Paddy, as long as there's money, as long as football is very, very money orientated and it's getting worse and worse and worse, I don't see a way back for any of the other teams to inject a bit of competitiveness in the league. It's just going to be us and the Rotten Mob until, I don't know, man. Until the bubble bursts in football, I don't know.
Until maybe you get some kind of freak season like a Leicester or something, but out with, I'm sure Dale was right, it was Dundee United was the last team to win, out with us and the dearly departed Rangers. Hearts have been the only real competitors. And that was when, obviously, Vladimir Romanov came in and they pumped money into Hearts. And they were brilliant that year. They really were. They just capitulated at the end. They got rid of George Burley, ended up with Graham Ricks, that type of thing. But see, when just a couple of points. Like, see, Celtic is the powerhouse in Scottish football, right? Financially, quality on the park, everything you can think of. Glasgow is a poorer area than Edinburgh. So really, see, with the financial capital, the capital city of Scotland, Hibs and Hearts should be doing a lot better, right? But it's not going to happen because this league is developed it's developed to suit us in name across in govern, but it also is developed to suit every other team getting 4 games each after us in name. And while that is the setup, this will never be this league will never progress. This league will never get better. You've got a league that's got a split where you can finish on more points than the team above you, which is fucking absolutely ludicrous. The powers that be are dinosaurs. They will never look to change it because they're getting their money off of the cash cows, which is us, and them specifically more so us. So I've spoke about this before. I've spoken to yous. People might disagree with me, whatnot, but I want out of Scottish football. Scottish football is isolating us as a team. We can't grow as a team. It's like a turtle. See if you put a turtle in a goldfish bowl, it will grow to a certain fucking level. It could grow more, but it'll know because it's only going to grow to the size of its environment. Celtic has got the potential to be a whale. Get us out of this goldfish bowl and let us go and swim in the pond. See if you're a young person in real life, right?
What about a tadpole?
I was just waiting on Paddy's analogy there because they're always fucking belters. But
everybody else is a tadpole, right? But no, listen. You can look at this 2 ways as well, right? Look at Virgil van Dijk for talking sake, right? Virgil van Dijk came into this team and into this country and into the Scottish game, and he did very, very well. He was very, very successful. But you knew fine well that Virgil was too big for Scottish football, right? So we've got no qualms about saying, do you know what? He'll get his move. He'll go on and do bigger, better things. He'll grow as a player. Look at what happened. He went away. He ended up a Champions League winner. Ended up fucking, I don't know, he never won the Ballon d'Or, but he could have won the Ballon d'Or. He was that good. It's the same with Celtic. Celtic are in a position where we can't grow as a club. We've got a limit, and we can see it in the Champions League. We don't face good enough opposition. We don't have teams coming in our face. Dale, you said it yourself. There's teams sitting there parking the bus, and that's the football that we've got to look forward to.
We're a ceiling, man.
Exactly, and that's where Celtic's limit is now because of Scottish football, right? But see another thing, see in real life, translate this into real life. See if you've got Waynes, right, and they've got job opportunities. Do you say to them, nah, just stay, just go and work in fucking Morrison's and Easter? Say, listen, go to fucking America, go to Japan and go and grow yourself as a person, go and experience different things. For me, Celtic should be doing the exact same thing. Scottish football don't want Celtic in the league. They only want what we can bring to the table financially. They don't want us. We are only respected in this league. So fuck them. I would get my bag packed and leave.
Bill, to give you a hypothetical situation, what would you prefer for Celtic to either join a European Super League or alternatively get an avenue down to England and work their way up, or if the other teams in Scotland were eventually able to come up to our level financially, not us go down to their level, to kind of restore competitiveness? So do you have that romanticism about tradition where we'll still be playing Hearts, Hibs, Rotten Mob, etc., and there'd be competitiveness and people would be very much entertained in games? It's not always going to be an expected Celtic victory or just fuck off to the riches of a Super League or England.
Could I give a fuck about our teams, mate, including Rangers? Could I give a fuck about them? The Super League doesn't romanticise me in any way at all, mate. Just for the simple fact that the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids and Juventuses and AC Milans that are kind of pushed it the last time and get told where to go. For me, the English route would be good, mate. It really would be good. I don't think in our lifetime, in my kids' lifetime, or my grandkids' lifetime, that it'll ever happen. But as a Celtic fan, I would love to take the hit, mate. Go to League Two. Go to League Two, man, and work our way through. Celtic will get 60,000 people every week if we're playing Plymouth or Gale. There'll be 5,000 fans down south. I would love the English route. I would love the English route. Swansea have done it. Cardiff have done it. I don't see any reason why we can't do it. I think the big argument's always been how long do you take to make an impact and all that. Celtic, and sorry if people disagree, Rangers absolutely stalked through League 1, League 2 and the Championship because they're worldwide massive clubs, even though Serco are only 11-year-old. Players will want to go there. They're in the Premiership within 4 or 5 years. You've got players all around the world that would come and play with Celtic and Rangers every single day of the week if they're in a league that are more respected than the Scottish League. Celtic and Rangers are in the Premiership. If they go to League 2, they win it, they get promoted. Celtic and Rangers are in the top 10 in the first 2 or 3 years in the Premiership. And listen, I'm not want to blow my trumpet too much here, but if teams are looking to sign Haaland like Manchester City, if Celtic and Rangers are in that league and they're top 3, 4 or 5, guys like Haaland and whoever else are looking at Celtic and Rangers are going, I'm going there. I'm fucking going there. That's the place I want to play football. I've absolutely no doubt, and maybe that's me with my green tinted glasses on, but I've got no doubt Celtic go to England and within a decade they're challenging for titles, they're challenging for Champions Leagues, and it's just the fan base worldwide. And without fucking sounding like a fucking horrible guy that doesn't respect the other mob, and I don't respect them, but they're the same. They're the same. There's loads of world class players worldwide that'll go and sign with the Huns before they'll go and sign with Arsenal. There's loads of players worldwide that'll come and sign with Celtic before they'll sign with Man United. For the simple fact that we're a worldwide institution, and we would make our mark in English football or a Super League or a European Super League within 4 or 5 years and be a massive, massive power in European football. I've got no fucking doubt about it. The logistics and the politics, that'll no fucking happen. That'll never happen. And we'll just keep stoating along and winning Scottish Cups and leagues and League Cups, and that's just the way it is, man. And we just need to get used to it in our lifetime. And that's it, in my opinion.
The voice of reason, although we don't really want to hear it because it sounds so negative. It'd be great if, like, you know, we were on an even keel against our English counterparts, because apart from the kind of geographical pool of London, they've got no history that trumps us. You know, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, whoever got their history doesn't trump us. The only teams that are in the same sentence as Celtic would be Liverpool and Manchester United.
Yeah.
All the other teams, like Man City, no, of course not. Like Nottingham Forest, yeah, they won two European Cups, but look at their stadium. That shows that club have never ever built on their success under Brian Clough. And like even Aston Villa, they won the European Cup in the late 70s, I think it was. They've never been able to capitalise on that. Us as a club, you know, our history, what we stand for, we'd be in the same breath as a Man U or a Liverpool if, you know, it was a level playing field. But as you say, politics probably would never happen. Anyway, Paddy, we're approaching an hour and 15 minutes. This is the last game. We've got the international break. We'll come back, we'll play Ross County on the 2nd of April, and then we've got a certain game against a certain team on the 8th of April. So, international break, we all fucking love that. What we'll do to try and spice it up, we've got the Jungle Gyms Tuesday TikTok, so tune into that. And of course, tune into the Celtic Supporters Podcast as well. Dale, when are you guys next on?
We are on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Next Friday night, we're on
Monday night, Dale. This is Saturday.
What day is it? Saturday? I know, mate. Know what it is, man. I never worked Saturday day. I actually came home a day and I was back here. It's Sunday. We're on Monday night, 7 o'clock for the CSP weekend review. And next Friday night is our monthly quiz. I don't know if our Paddy's on, but we normally get 4 or 5 on once a month for a wee quiz night.
Is it a Celtic quiz?
Yes, mate. Yes, Celtic quiz. Once a month we do it. Paddy spoke about the crossover with the gyms and that, but every time I've texted him, he's kind of shat it. So I don't know what the crack is with that, Gav. You know what I mean?
What do you reckon, Paddy?
I fucking text you last week calling you out, mate, and you never even
did, mate. You did, actually. You did.
You never even messaged me back.
So next Friday night is the 24th. So I've got Big Hoggy on, I've got Andy on, and I've got Kev on at 8 o'clock. So if yourself, Paddy, and McGinty are on, I'll happily host a CSP versus the JJ's quiz night.
No. What we'll do, Dale, right, is we will do, right, an end of season quiz.
You did text me that, mate. That's a bit far away, but that's a bit far away.
That's fine. That gives you plenty of time to prepare, right? Because you'll need it. It'll be yous versus us at the end of the season. The big fat quiz of the season, if you want to call it.
Yes, and I'll do hosting. I'll have
no.
Who are we going to get to host it like?
We'll split it into 2 sections.
I'll host. I've got Hoggy. I've got Andy. I've got Paddy.
You'll have
Paddy.
You'll have Hoggy looking at the answers on the screen and pretending, oh, his lovely innocent face, like, oh, did you look at it?
Paddy, are you saying that we need an independent vigilator?
Aye, we need VAR.
Oh. Right. Well, Diaz, I'll text me Willie Collum and see if he's if he's up to much. Know what I mean?
No, I don't. He'll end up getting a do.
I know, but I don't know if he's filming the new Hobbit at the end of the season. So I'll need to speak to him, see what he's up to. You know what I mean?
What we Willie Collum walking about a yellow kid going, my precious.
No, listen. Next Friday's a shout. If Paddy's a shite bag, then that's fine with me. I don't know what the viewers think. Next Friday night, there's a space there for the Jungle Gyms to come on, and get a bash. But if you're just fear, it's up to you, man. It doesn't bother me.
We fear no foe.
It's up to you, mate. I've got Hoggy, I've got Kev, and I've got Andy next week. So if you 3 Muppets are up to it, then fucking bring it on.
McGinty will crucify you guys.
Well, seeing you're off on the host it, you cunt.
I'm fucking right, I'm hosting it, man. Fucking right, I'm hosting it. But listen, I'm no throwing down any gauntlets or anything, but if he's in there, then we know he's up doing shites, know what I mean?
Well, if McGinty and James can't make it, then we'll maybe try and rope our Dasbo in while he's still in the country.
Listen, the offer's open next Friday the 24th. If the Jungle Gyms can pull 3 together, then our Hoggy, Andy and Kev will certainly go up against these in a wee quiz night and a couple of beers.
Aye. Challenge accepted, mate. Challenge accepted.
Ooh, well done, Gavin, because Paddy's a fucking shite bag.
Aye, don't bother me. I'll take you in the street. I'll take you in the ring. I'll take you anywhere you want, pal. You'll get.
Is this a Winston Churchill speech?
Aye, so what we'll do is we'll do the quiz next Friday and then I'll batter fuck out of Paddy on the Saturday.
Mate, I've seen you in a fight. Ain't impressed.
I know, mate. Mate, I'm shy at that. I've got scars on my head, man. second prize, Dale, they call me.
I'll punch that grey hair right off your chin, you fucking nugget.
Right, anyway, guys, we will wrap up for tonight. Check out Dale on Monday night, Celtic Supporters Podcast on YouTube, and we'll be back on Tuesday for the Jungle Gyms. So, Dale, Paddy, thanks very much for tuning in.
God bless. Good talk with you, man. It's been too long.
Enjoy the rest of your Paddy's weekend, guys.
Aye, and I'll see you next.